everybody? Welcome to Two Beards Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nick. That's the other one, Levi. And we're drinking some beer. Surprise, surprise.
I thought you were going to be like, hello to the world. It's like, that's a little overstated. Bit of a hyperbole.
Also,
not much.
Outside of my reference catalog.
So, last week,
Okay.
we had some issues.
One or two.
Which is like 3 weeks in a row that we've had issues. Maybe it's just 2 weeks. I don't know.
What happened the week before?
Remember, like, the last part of it got cut off.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that now.
So,
yeah.
it was just...
That's right.
the big T. But on that podcast, we drank this beer, which we designated without knowing that we were going to have audio issues for this podcast today. So you want to quickly go over kind of our tasting notes and ratings for this beer, just to kind of recap.
Totally. So as you're going to see as we pour it, it's, okay.
Yeah, good luck.
I just wanted to stand it up for like a second. Very clear, yellowy, a little wispy head. Has very watermelon-y, kiwi, kind of tropical smells going on. Flavor-wise, it's pretty hoppy, bitter, but very clean. Has some tropical notes going on. Definitely got some like mosaic-y vibes floating around in there. And we concluded that it was a bit of hop resin up front, but not very sticky. Overall, very light and crisp. Be a nice spring beer. Levi was not amazed with it. Wasn't thrilled. Kind of what he was expecting. I enjoyed this beer. I think I probably rated it higher than I even should have. But, I definitely rated it higher than I should have. But that's fine.
So, I mean, especially looking at our new scale, which we finished.
We did the scale.
But we'll get into that later. But yeah, this is the Crikey IPA by Reuben.
Yes.
6.8 ABV.
Head's already gone for both of us.
53 IBUs. Yeah, again, wispy head. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. It's got. If I remember correctly, I think I was talking about how it smells a lot different and more complex than it actually tastes on those kind of tropical notes. You smell it, and it's like got a bit of a zing to it. But I don't know.
So we did not do this on the real episode 18. We did this on the fake episode 18.
The fake episode 18.
Yeah. Go watch. I bet you this is it.
So that's the so you're talking about the super cluster now.
Yes.
But on last week's podcast, you compared, correct or incorrect?
I'm holding to it.
That the Lagunitas supercluster is very similar.
Yes.
To this Crikey IPA.
Yes.
I was staunch in my disagreement.
You were blown away.
I was like, that is crazy that you compare that.
Yeah.
And just looking at it, and just you pouring it and looking at it, I'm saying I'm right.
Okay. Okay.
I'm still coming out. I haven't had this beer, this super cluster, since that podcast.
Let me tell you right now, and I know it doesn't taste like this, but this looks like a very tried and true deep West Coast IPA.
The super cluster?
Yes.
Yes.
I know it does not taste that way for a fact. It's not that bitter at all. It's not that bitter. It is.
You also said it's 4%. So.
Not that bitter.
What's the IBUs hitting at?
60.
That's pretty decent.
I know, but it's a lie. We've talked about this.
No, we don't trust that scale. But I mean,
So let me give you the tasting notes before you take a sip. What we said previously.
Okay.
Taste. Immediate.
Wait. Can I taste it first, and then we can compare versus our notes?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Go on.
And I didn't look already.
Go on. Yeah.
Okay. Surprisingly, there's not a lot of smell. There's actually some like little dankness to it.
Yeah, a little hoppy dank going on.
Yeah.
That's a nice smell.
Oh man, it just smells like you opened a bag of hops.
Just gonna say
it's
that.
It doesn't smell like beer yet. It just smells like hops.
excited for October. We'll have to take a trip to the hop farm.
Oh, buddy.
I know it's good, but
No.
Okay.
There's no discernible depth to how wrong you are about this beer.
All right.
Like this is delicious West Coast action right here. This is like just hoppy, gritty, earthy, hoppy.
Okay, we don't have to compare them, but can we do the 12th of Never sometime soon? And
yes.
Then that's my redo, and then you'll be like,
we'll give Nick his redo. So before this podcast started, he was like, "This is like 4%," and I'm like, "No, it's just I."
You're like,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
think
sure
it
was
is.
higher, and
look at
double
8%,
that.
and then you're like, "Oh, maybe it was the 12th of Never," and I was like, "That I could see more of."
Did you get your beers mixed up? I might have,
because dude, taste this beer.
All right, give me some. While I'm tasting, give me the taste notes.
I just did.
No, you didn't.
West Coast.
Oh, but like, come on, like, break it down.
Okay.
Interesting.
You get like a lot of that orange citrus and hoppy syrup kind of on the bottom end there. Sticks around with you. It's just a very hoppy beer right up front. Not incredibly crisp, and definitely more of those kind of earthy tones than like, fruity or florally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think we said it in different words, but I think the same flavors got across. So you hit the nail on the head as far as aligning with our previous ratings. Immediate sweet citrus, which you said it has that pack a punch of citrusy goodness going on.
It's like someone like squirted some orange in your mouth right up front.
It says bitter back end. It says not as strong as the Citra. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means if I meant to say citrus. So it's like immediately sweet citrus and has a bitter back end, but not as strong as the citrus up front.
I'm going to assume that's a you comment because of the Citra. And I'm going to assume that because it smells like Citra hops and it says a Citra hopped mega IPA and you were expecting more of that fruity.
Maybe that's what it was.
Kind of beer. That's my assumption on our notes. Now, should we trust our notes in any capacity? Probably not.
Probably not.
That's to say, this beer, it seems to have changed as well, which normally beers do change a little bit, as breweries refine recipes and stuff. But like even on Untapped, I think you're on it. There's a clear distinction between 2019 and 2020.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So,
I also don't agree with this at all, and it was probably me who said it, but it said quite balanced. I don't.
Or I said it in jest.
Maybe. Either way, it's just not true.
I like how we've gotten rid of balanced for the most part. Like every now and then we'll bring it back, but like it was overused, which is why it turned into a meme.
Absolutely. And then the last part I think is quite true, and I think this is kind of what you were getting at with earthy tones is. He said juicy but dry as well, and I think that dry as well is like it has that juicy flavor, but also has those like drier, earthier tones as well going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where that was at. And I agree with this deceptively clean feel. You think it's gonna be real stick, and it does have a little bit.
It does have a little bit. It's not bad though.
But again, like for 8% and how sweet it is, it does have a pretty clean feel.
And for how like kind of has those dank hop tones, which usually kind of go towards that stickiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
But
you rated a 3.5. I rated 3.75.
Totally different.
Totally
beer.
different beer. I was wrong. Clearly, I was thinking of a different beer. Pretty positive it's the 12th and Never at this point, but that's yet to be determined. So now we're rocking two beers.
This is a strange combination as well. It's
okay. Here we
like,
go.
Go the other way. Go the other way because it's real weird.
it's a bit more pleasant to go Rubens than Super Cluster.
No, I know. That's why I wanted you to do the unpleasant way.
Going back to the Rubens, then it almost makes the Rubens taste sour.
Yeah, it's like not in a good sour, it's weird.
I very much think I'm going to just drink the Rubens and then go to the Super Cluster.
Like it almost tastes like a bad soda, like you drank a bad Sprite.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Let's see, what did I say? I said 3.75. I would hold on to that. So I said 3.75. Great. And
it's for the Lagunitas.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And so for our new scale, that still sits in the great category. In that rates it as a B. So kind of to give you guys a little bit more of a breakdown, and I'm sure we'll.
Let's go into it now. Let's just because I don't think we're gonna fully break down.
What? Oh, the beers? No,
we're already breaking it down, so I figure like this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying so. To break it down,
cool.
Our scale here, and I'm sure you'll see like a picture of or like some sort of visual.
That's a lot of responsibility you're putting on me.
Eventually, you will see a visual aid. Is
maybe in this video? Maybe probably not.
You already have a rough something that we could throw up. That it could help. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
throw up in the corners.
It needs to. Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying. So,
but yeah.
So, we have them separated into 5 categories, which is what I think we had before, didn't we? Didn't we have 5 categories, or was there more than that?
No, I think there was more. I think there was like 7.
You want to go to the rating scale?
Yeah, I'll just go to a different one. So before, we had bad, all right, okay, fine, good, great, awesome, amazing.
Okay, all right.
Which is 8 categories.
Okay, wow. So now we've divided it up into 5 broad categories that you might be familiar with. A, B, C, D, F.
Funny enough.
Pretty plain and simple.
The idea was to simplify it to say, like, if you're gonna figure out, off of a few drinks, like, okay, I'm gonna put this beer in one of these simple categories. I don't have to determine the rating. I'm just like, this is a solid B.
Yeah.
Or this is the top end of a B, but it's not quite an A.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we might give ratings often, and when we look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's like this just seems very skewed. So yeah, this kind of helps with that. Kind of gives you a starting point to be like, yeah, this is a solid B, and I would agree with this. Maybe not 3.75, but I'm confident in the great category and that it's a B. Like I think the Super Cluster is a really good beer. I also rated the Crikey as a 4, and that I do regret. That I would tone down a little bit to maybe a C, like a high C or a very low B.
But to talk about the scale, just in case I don't put an image in, basically like 4 to 5 is an A, 3 to 4 is a B. So there's still some overlap there, which we kind of liked about the last scale.
Yeah.
So each category has its overlap, and then within each of those, 0.5, like 4.5 to 5, 4 to 4.5, both of those are an A, but we have 2 distinguishing words between both of those.
Yeah.
So for B, which is a 3.5 to 4, and 3 to 3.5, 3.5 and up is great, and 3 to 3.5 is good. So that's kind of what you mean by maybe it's not great beer, but it's still in that B category.
Yeah. So it's nice. It gives it before it had the scale had a huge curve, whereas there was very large change happening at the beginning of the scale. And then the closer you get to the top end of the scale, it really started increasing very like incrementally. Like we're talking like 0.25 of a point. So this is a lot more evenly distributed, where it's just 0.5 between them all, and then we still have that overlap like you were talking.
And the downside, and we've brought this up, throughout the podcast over the like almost years that we've been doing this. Yeah. The downside for the old scale was it felt like we could never put beers in the top echelons of the ratings, right? We can never give a 4.8 because
both, right? Like we never felt like we could give a 1 or a 0.5,
yeah,
or a 0.
Because the scale was just so odd that everything kind of got grouped right at 3.5.
When you figured that out, right, as you were mapping it out,
yeah,
you had this idea like it'd be nice to have a visual representation of like where we've rated all of our beers, and throughout your project of doing that, you're like, wow, we are not very diverse. Like all of it sits in this very small window.
And right now, I mean, like, and to be fair, the 3.5 on our scale is mid-range B, so I do expect a lot of what we drink to still fall in there, but I do expect there to also be more diversity in general.
Absolutely.
And then we kind of sat down when we were redoing the rating scale, and we put like our own. We put our like initial word descriptions, but we've also kind of put some of our thoughts behind why we gave those descriptor words and what it means to us. Like that 3 to 3.5 good for us is, it's a solid concept. There's a vision for what this beer was supposed to be. It was well executed. But on the great scale, it's, the like all the kind of major flavors are, more developed, more there. Like even though the beer was executed well, maybe like some of the flavors are kind of off to us, or man, I wish it was more hoppy, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of the distinction where like you have a concept and you executed it well, but then you just take that up a notch. Is like you had the concept, you executed it well, and it's really enjoyable. It's not quite perfect, but it's better. Like you improved upon your existing good concept.
And then you compare it to the upper end of the C, which is what I gave this with the 2.95, which is there was a concept there. I just don't think it was well executed. Mm-hmm. I see what you're going for with kind of the tropical notes. So, a lot of that aroma comes off, but as far as the flavor goes, it was missing some of the journey that I was expecting to be taken on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I honestly think we're gonna see a lot more diversity. So although a lot of our stuff, like you said, still might sit in that B range, like that 3.5 range. But that's also to say, like, we also just like to drink beers that we like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but outside of that, like, I think we'll start seeing start dipping into that 2.5 range, given our new descriptors with that. I mean, you could have a 2.5 and you have a beer that's okay. This beer is okay. It's a 2.5. It's not good. It's not great. The concept there just doesn't seem really developed. But it's not a bad beer by any means. So the beer's not bad, but it's just okay.
Yep.
So, I definitely foresee us kind of dipping down into the lower end of the scale for sure. The higher end is still going to be kind of challenging, I think. But
I mean, the thing is, I can't remember the beer that we had recently that I was talking about, but I was saying there wasn't anything I would change. And to me, that signifies a perfect beer. Like, that means that I feel like the concept that they were going for was perfectly nailed, perfectly executed. They hit the flavors they wanted to hit. There's nothing off-putting about kind of the smaller end flavors. And to me, that signifies more into that 4.5 to 5 kind of perfect scale, where even if I don't love the beer, they still nailed it.
Yeah, that was the 420, by the way.
Yeah.
Which
that's fair. Really excellent beer.
It really was.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Even I rated it a 4.5, and I mean, that's really
it's still
high.
In that perfect category, right? Like,
yeah, right. Yep. And I probably would give that a perfect. Like, I don't know that it would be less than perfect, but I don't know that I could go 5, but yeah, I would keep it in that perfect category for sure.
And same thing with the Fresh Hop Lagunitas.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's definitely in that 4.5, and above category, where it's like seemingly, year after year, like they hit everything that I want them to hit, everything they, perceptibly they want to hit as far as flavor profile goes, and they just kill it.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm also amazed year after year by them, Lagunitas, that they make the Born Again yesterday, sometime in the winter. We should have already hit that. or is it in spring? I can't remember when it was. I feel
I,
like
I felt like it was March.
Right?
I felt like it usually gets released in March, but with all this stuff going on,
who knows? I mean, they're a big enough brewery though, so if they could still push it out to stores like they do, they could make. I mean, if anyone's gonna do it, they're a huge brewery. They could make it happen.
I'm just saying, like, who knows?
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
They're also a big enough brewery where they could probably shut down for a month.
That's also true.
So,
trying to find out when they do release the Born Again. Blah 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 blah.
Dude, I really want to go back because I don't know what season it is but I want brown sugar to come back.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but we did. I mean, we have talked several times about like me. I don't know. Me wanting to develop cocktails from beer. Brown sugar is honestly one of the more interesting beers that Lagunitas has.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
It's like hoppy and brown sugary sweetness, like a darker beer, but it's like lighter and like it's just so odd.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those where like you feel like they just kind of like stumbled into to some flavor that like no one was expecting. And they're like, well, I did it as a joke, but it kind of worked.
Yeah, it not that it tastes like it, but it reminds me, and I'll forever preach about this, is the brown ale at Alasta Brewing Company in West Covina. Right, I know. It was a brewery that I frequented with one of my friends I'd work with, and so they do a brown ale there that is very similar, where it's like, you think brown ale, you're like, it's gonna be a little sweeter than I want, but still have like these weird chocolatey bitter notes that I'm just not in love with. But I don't know what they did to like create this hoppy but yet still like full-bodied beer, like in the sweet realm. It's I don't know, but whatever they did, it was surprising and it killed it.
I think the best kind of analogy for those who haven't had that kind of beer is like, I mean, maybe this is a weird analogy because no one's probably had this either, but the Demerara sugar in an old fashioned, like the Demerara syrup that you had in the old fashioned that I recently made you.
Yeah.
It adds these like caramely molasses notes that they're not like this bright sweetness, right? They're both sweet, but it's not like white sugar sweet. It's got like these tones that are, darker. That's what it's from. It's that molasses that are more caramely, like burnt sugar almost.
Yeah.
And you don't think that pairs well with, those hoppy notes, but you take an old fashioned, for example, which has kind of those, that orange, those, Angostura bitters, and like actually surprisingly, it gives kind of a foundation to build a lot of those, flavors on.
Yeah, it's why we don't have a problem, and I think you're a big supporter of this as well. I think that's why making old fashions with a rye whiskey and then pairing that like with a beer, specifically like an IPA, just goes so well.
Yeah,
you have such similar profiles, but at the same time, they're so different, but they complement each other so well.
I think the best way to put it is like, so this is not going to help anyone who hasn't brewed beer, but when you brew beer and you get to the boiling process and you're putting the hops in, like just all those sweet tones from like the sugars boiling together with the hops and the malts, it smells like especially when you add in the hops, it smells like an IPA, but it smells very sweet.
Yeah,
like you don't have a lot of those crisp like citrusy flavors yet.
Well, and you're not going to get the bitterness unless outside of taste,
Sure, but I'm just saying, like, even like knowing where it's coming from an aroma perspective, you're like, this beer, both of these beers started somewhere that's like very malty, sweety,
right,
sugary, caramely, burnt sugar. So it's like, that makes sense that, something like Demerara or like a dark brown sugar might pair well.
Yeah.
And to build a foundation upon.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's so many, it's weird to think too, like the word sweet is such a bland, vague word. Like, I mean, I would say chocolate is sweet, and I would also say, fuck, that goes good together. Never mind.
I mean,
a pineapple can be sweet. A mango can be sweet.
Yeah, I talk about this all the time, like, because I really, like, from the majority of sweet things, like desserts, I don't enjoy.
Right.
But then you'll see me, like, have waffles for breakfast.
Yeah.
And you're syrup. Like, with syrup. And you're like, that seems a little out
what
of your realm. Like, you won't eat cake, but you'll have waffles with syrup and peanut butter. Like, both of those things are sweet. To me, they're different sweetness, right? Like, to me, one is like a much more rich, like, again, those caramely burnt sugar tones that, like, sit well with me compared to, like, cake. Just like this, like, really, like, bright white sugar frosting kind of tone that, like, that doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah. And then it's like, you are an odd creature, because then, like,
100%.
Every now and then, like, and I'm with you, like, candy, I'm not, I fucking hate being an adult. As being an adult, I've really not enjoyed candy as much.
Dude, I can't do gelatin candy anymore.
No.
Like, Sour Patch Kids make me want to vomit.
Yeah. But even still, like, the candy that I do enjoy, like some chocolates, I'm like, I can have like a handful, and like I want to eat more, but like I physically can't. But either way,
the best example is Reese's Pieces.
Yes! I can't even eat a fucking box anymore. What is
like,
this?
They are the best, one of the best, like top tier, S tier candies, but you can have like 4 before your stomach is just like, fuck you.
This is my point. He enjoys Reese's Pieces, but he hates sweet things. It's like, it's just you're an odd person.
Yeah, you give me like peach rings and I'll like vomit.
Yeah, this is gross. You're right. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You like what you like, I guess. But so, dude, I was just thinking as we were saying that too, like, I would fuck with some Reese's on waffles. But I feel like that would be overwhelming for you.
Yeah.
Like, you would try it and be like, that is good, but after that one bite, I'm done. Yeah.
Can I do a Reese's beer or cocktail? Ooh, a Reese's cocktail. Now you got me thinking.
That could work.
The wheels are turning.
Reese's beer has pretty much been done. I've very much had peanut butter stouts. Most of them suck, but
well, that's what I mean. I don't.
Yeah. I've had like one.
So I think my problem with a lot of those beers that they try to go for Reese's beer and stuff like that.
For the record, before we get too far, remember what you're about to say. Okay. 6 months later is when they do it. The board again yesterday. So math.
So yeah, March.
Yeah. So where it at, Lagunitas?
We could have just missed it, but so I think part of the issue with like a Reese's beer is that a lot of breweries try to do it in just the beer instead of making a beer cocktail. Kind of like how we did the smoked beer and the peanut butter beer recently. Yeah. I would rather see more breweries do that, adding on to a beer that they've already made, than like brewing it and trying to get like, oh, I'm going to create some peanut butter tones in the brewing process, which is interesting, but to me, like, so many times, kind of like what you're saying, it's just not executed well. So it just feels off.
You know what's not good is a bitter Reese's. That is not good. I don't like that.
But now you take a chocolatey, espresso-y stout and you add some peanut butter post beer making.
Yeah, that could be good.
Could be
good. Maybe you nitro it.
Yeah, it's just things like that where it's like, you don't have to make a beer to make a Reese's beer. You could have that beer and then also Reeseify it.
No, there's an adjective or verb for you, rather. Definitely a verb. Could you add a little bit of heavy cream or even just milk or something to a Reese's and melt it down into a paste?
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to pour into something. I don't know what, but something. I don't want to just have peanut butter. I want to take the whole Reese's and melt that down.
No, and that's kind of what I want to do with the cocktail, right? I agree. Like, one of the things that I hate is Reese's flavored stuff that doesn't use Reese's. Like fucking
right.
Reese's cereal.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. Tastes nothing like Reese's.
Yeah, every now and then I get this weird like pregnant woman craving for it, but it's always a
but you're pregnant.
It's always a disappointment.
Yeah, you would rather get Cocoa Puffs and peanut butter Captain Crunch, pour them together.
Women who have been pregnant, you know, your pregnant brain can be pretty wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it just
no. Just no.
There's just nothing like a Reese's.
Yeah, right.
In its classic form.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a magical candy that is.
Sponsor this episode, Reese's.
Do you remember the Reese's, like the OG Reese's commercials? Those are the best.
I don't know that I do. I don't know. I have to look them up.
Go ahead and do that.
I do remember.
I just remember, like, you know what? Also, why it stands out in my brain so much. You want to know what color the packaging for Reese's is?
Yeah.
I just I'm
That
seeing the
goes
Reese's orange on a TV screen. And I'm like, oh, that's just comforting.
As a wee lad, Levi was attracted to Reese's, not even from the taste.
Oh no, I mean,
like I
parents
eat whatever's in that packaging.
My parents can confirm I loved Reese's. So there's actually a funny story from my childhood involving Reese's.
Yeah, I mean, by all means.
So I don't remember this, obviously, because I was a little kid, like 4 years old or something.
Yeah.
My parents bought me some Reese's, as good parents do.
Such great parents.
Such great parents. Found my said Reese's in the trash.
Oh.
Not so great parents anymore.
Wait.
The wrapper, not the Reese's as a whole. They bought me Reese's.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
In the future, after buying said Reese's, I found the Reese's wrapper in the trash.
Oh, you found it?
I did.
Oh, okay.
As a wee lad.
Got it, yes. And you were like, fucking ate my candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Crying.
what you thought.
That's exactly, well, no, it's not what I thought.
You thought you fucking ate? Okay, go on. Yeah.
Crying. I thought, my dad ate my candy.
Oh, what a dick. Yeah. Rhonda would never.
No, she would never.
Sweet lady.
So it's my dad, obviously. So I'm crying, bawling. My mom asked me what's wrong.
Yeah.
Dad ate my Reese's. Oh, honey, we'll get you a new one. Blah, 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 blah. Little did I know.
Yeah, that little devil.
My mom fucking ate my Reese's and didn't cop to it.
God damn it. She didn't own up to it to a 4-year-old.
No.
That's some guilt right there. Wow. She probably felt like shit about it because you were so upset. Oh, man. This is too funny. Your sister's probably just like, yo, fucking buck up.
My sister was like a year and a half old at that point, so she was probably crying too.
Wait, what?
My sister's younger than me.
No.
Yeah.
How old's your sister?
Younger than me.
I always thought she was like older than you. I don't know.
No, like 2.5 years younger than me.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Huh.
Just because, she has 2 kids.
Yeah, maybe. She's like, I don't know. Yeah, she just always had her life more put together than you. You're such a fuck up. So maybe that's what I always thought. I don't know. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason. I think I just have never known her age. Just always assumed she was older.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyways.
I did something to throw you off today. And like most days.
I already hate where this is going.
Like most days. It didn't throw you off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wore a hat.
I know. I saw that. That was supposed to throw me off?
I don't know. I just like to mix it up and do something different every podcast. So I was like,
I'd be lying if
I was like, I'm gonna be like Nick. I'm gonna put on a hat today.
Yeah.
For context, I don't wear hats.
Not often. You wear beanies often.
I wear beanies a lot.
Yeah.
Hats.
Not frequent.
When was the last time you seen me wear a hat?
Quite probably California.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
years ago. Yeah.
Quite probably California.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd be lying if I said it didn't cross my mind though. When I walked in and you were, coming up your stairs, I was like, oh, there's a guy a hat on.
I was really gonna commit. I was gonna wear jeans and a button up and a hat.
Oh, so you're like really just trying to beat me?
Yeah. Because I was hoping that you were gonna come in and walk like that. Like
that would have been funny.
But then I didn't commit to it because I was like, he's probably not gonna I'll do it this one day. I'll be like Nick, and he just will show up like you did today, jeans and a t-shirt, no hat, and then I'll be like, it's not as funny anymore. So I didn't commit to it. So I made the right choice.
I came really, really close to wearing a hat today. Dude, yeah, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
No, I'm with you. My hair is a fucking mess.
At a crossroads. And so not only is my hair just like a mess because of this, like I've been unable to get a haircut. This is what I do. I literally wake up, get in front of like the fucking computer, and I just go, whatever that does, that's what I'm rocking. I was literally I called Levi in Teams yesterday, and he's like, "Yo, this is out of bed."
This is at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's at 11. And he's like, "You just got out of bed?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, you look like you just rolled out of bed." I was like, "I mean, I
haven't moved since I rolled out of bed."
Yeah,
so.
like I rolled out of bed, and this is it. So I guess technically, yeah. And he's like, "Well, that makes sense, I guess." But. And fucking Levi having like the fucking perfect lighting, like probably the Fuji camera on him on his Teams call.
Well, I have to, right? I mean, I don't have to have all that, but like,
yeah, you go all out.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I had the same setup, I would too. Like, why not, right?
Well, the other thing is, I like today, the last night of my day, I was literally in 4 hours straight of meetings on camera.
Why?
4 hours straight. So it was two different meetings. One of the meetings was literally 2.5 hours long.
What was that for?
It was just some like product demo bullshit thing.
Okay.
But it was like 2.5 hours
I know
long.
what that product is.
And I was like, and then it went longer than it was supposed to. Got close to a meeting. My next meeting, which I had to prepare for in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I had another hour-long meeting that I was in, and I was like, I am dying. I would love, my ears, I was telling my team this, my ears are hurting from wearing headphones because I've just been wearing headphones for the past 5 hours.
Pretty bad. Can I say what
it was a long day.
Can I say what the product is?
Sure.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Let's show it to me. Just show it to me. Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Because you used our fucking Two Beards YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're on our Two Beards YouTube, and I was like, fuck is this?
Oh, yeah. So
I almost watched some of the videos.
Oh, yeah, you should have.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd been educational and enjoyable. A little bit.
Yeah, my work computer is just automatically signs into that YouTube account.
Your work computer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm working and I look something up on YouTube, then it just goes to that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, actually I think mine does too. Because typically just for docs reasons, I will be working on something, not so much lately, but
No, that's exactly why mine is too. It's we'll have an idea that we want to write down or something.
Yeah.
It's
right.
docs.
Yeah, especially when we were working on more the video project type stuff. I always had docs open on our stuff and was just doing shit. So Yeah, and then I forget. I don't remember. I like needed something on my own YouTube account, and I was like, why does this fucking look weird? Oh, right. That's why.
Oh yeah.
I'm not on my account.
So yeah, I was on demo for that product, and
Yeah.
I just
It's a long ass meeting. I mean, shit.
yeah.
Do you feel
Yeah.
like you gained more knowledge from that meeting, or do you feel like those 4 YouTube videos pretty much did the trick? A little bit of both.
Yeah, probably a little bit of both. I mean, I just sat through so many like product meetings that, I feel like I've heard all the sales pitches. So it's like, most of those demos, I'm like, until I get, like my hands on it, properly evaluate it,
Yeah.
deem it like useful for my workflow, then it's like,
I agree.
who cares?
I mean, you got to let the product speak for itself, right? Where I'm with you. Like, I feel like, and I'm, not in the same situation as you are as far as.
No, I mean, the best example of this is an iPhone. Someone who doesn't have an iPhone, they can say it's shit because you can't do this, can't do that, can't blah, 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 blah. And every time I'm like, yeah, buy an iPhone in 6 months from then.
Never go back.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Elizabeth is that way.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Never get an iPhone. She has an iPhone now. Fucking loves it.
Yeah, she's never going to not have an iPhone now.
Yeah.
Ever.
And you can think that's a good or a bad thing, but like, it just, like it comes back to this: does it fit in your workflow? Does it fit in your lifestyle? And
right.
and for iPhones, because they make everything so intuitive and easy, like people are always like, oh, you can't customize this, you can't customize that. And I'm like, why would I ever want to spend the time to do that?
Why would I want to? You know what's going to happen is I'm going to accidentally do that shit, and then I'm going to be frustrated about it.
Or like, I don't want to sit down for 4 hours trying to figure out how I want to organize my app. Like, I just want to, that's not how I want to spend my time.
Well, that's the thing too. Like one of my biggest gripes with Android is it's like, there's not like a home page. There's like your pages, but then like you can't access all your apps there. You have to then go into this apps folder to get to all of your apps. And there's like, it's like one after another, like trying to get into this shit. And I just don't understand why. Like, first off, why would you ever need so many apps that you can't have them on your home screens?
Well, the other thing too is like people talk about organization because you have folders, you don't have like an app folder, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like 99% of the time, I don't swipe to another screen to go find an app.
Mm-hmm.
I go to search, which has my top 4 used applications.
Yeah.
Usually it's one of those because
right.
Usually it's Instagram, Safari, music, podcast, right? Like that's it.
Yeah.
And then if I need to find something else, I type in maps.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like on mine, there's like maybe a couple folders that I'll go into because I just know it's there. Like I have like a business folder on my front screen, and that's like anything from like my bank to my insurance to.
But you could do it blind too. Like you could open up your phone, not look at it, and click on it. Pretty much, right? Like
technically, you have to look at it for your face, but anyways.
Well, yeah, because you don't have a home button. But like, I'm just saying, like theoretically,
right. Yes.
Right? Like you could do it without. Like that's how easy it is.
Well, right, too, right? Like I could just say, like, "Hey Siri."
No, you can't.
Naturally. Hey Siri.
Oh, you need me to do it, dude?
This is gonna fail. Go ahead.
Hey Siri. Nope.
Hey Siri.
Nope. There it is.
Open up Google Chrome.
You'll need.
There it is. Open up Google Chrome right there. Didn't have to do anything at all. So easy. Can Google, like on Androids, can Google launch from the locked?
I imagine. I mean, I don't know. I imagine they can. Because Siri fucking sucks, right?
Siri is terrible, as you just saw.
Yeah.
I probably should just redo my Hey Siris because 1 out of 10 times that bitch actually like opens up when I say Hey Siri.
Not
I
that
just said it and she didn't open up.
outside of like cooking, I rarely use that feature.
I do, yeah. For and that's one reason
Setting
I don't have it
timers
on
and
me,
stuff
yeah.
is really nice.
With my watch, that's really nice too. Because I don't have to say her name. All I have to do is raise my wrist up and just talk.
Yeah.
And she pops up doing whatever I ask. So I'll just like raise my wrist, like set a timer for 4 minutes, and then it just does it. So that's a nice thing about the watch, because my fucking Hey Siri shit is just broken as fuck. Again, didn't pop up.
Yeah.
I've been, now that I have my own place with my brother, but now that I'm not living at home, I would like to dive into the smart home world, Like, I think I would like to get an Alexa. I mean, I haven't done enough research, but I just feel like, and maybe it's just the advertising having its effect on me, I just feel like the Google Home isn't as developed.
No, I think Alexa is the way to go.
Yeah.
I still don't think the technology's quite there yet.
Absolutely not.
Unless you have a full integrated system, right, where it's like you could tell Alexa
AC locks.
it's getting a little hot in here.
Yeah.
Take off all your clothes, or just turn down the temperature.
Yeah. Right.
Like outside of that, I'm like, because like even people with smart lights, I'm like, it's really not that.
Well, hear me out. So like I was looking on Amazon at some like tower fans for my room, because we don't have, thought we did, but we don't have central AC, or any AC rather for that matter. So I was gonna get like one of those like air purifier / fans for my room. I could get a smart outlet and designate that as AC, so that way I could tell Siri or whoever to, hey, turn down the temperature a little bit, aka turn on the fan, and that would work. So
I have little things that plug into my outlet with a remote control for my lights.
Well,
yeah, you've seen that.
I don't know what you're referring to. What do you mean?
I have little I have remote controlled outlets.
Oh yes, you do.
For basically that. Like there's lamps that I've like, one of my biggest pet peeves, because I think it's just an absolute waste of time, is trying to figure out how to turn on a lamp.
Every lamp is different, right?
Yeah, they're always different. Like you said, you're like fondling the top of the light bulb to figure out where it's at, or you're like pulling the cord out of inconvenient place to switch it, and then you're gonna put it back, and you got to do the same thing again. Like, it's one of the most inconvenient things in the world.
Very stupid.
So I just was like, I'm gonna get a remote for these. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I could see Alexa being useful there, but I also just don't want to deal with that. So I just would rather boop.
What I'm about to do is, so my fucking brother, he got these shelves, and then he got a corded lamp. There's this lamp with a huge ass cord on it that he puts on a shelf next to the TV. It's a great lamp. It's a great spot for the lamp. Like, it illuminates the room well. It's like really small, but it like does well. The cord just looks fucking ridiculous, hanging from up on the wall all the way down to the outlet. It looks fucking stupid. So what I'm about to do is, and it also has like a little switch on the actual cord. What I'm about to do is just cut that shit off, and then buy a 9-volt battery pack or something, and just hook that up, and then put a smart light bulb in there. So then I could just say, hey Siri, or hey Alexa, like turn the living room light on, and she'll fucking do it. That way it's all hidden. I don't gotta worry about anything. It's just a fucking 9-volt battery that'll last for like almost ever. So, an instance like that, it's helpful.
I can see that.
Probably wrap this up, huh?
Yeah.
We're
almost done. AKA done. Well, not for you.
We've already rated both of these beers. One of them was, yours were both pretty accurate.
We talked about the ratings.
Mine was not quite accurate.
On the Crikey, no, yours. I mean, but we didn't finish the scale.
As far as it's pretty much
okay.
finished.
What are you gonna rate this beer with the finish scale?
The Crikey?
The Crikey.
I think I'm gonna go 3 fine, and that puts it at a C. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I think the concept is there. I think it's not very well executed. It's not perfect.
I'm gonna rate the Super Cluster because I've already rated the Crikey at 2.5 or 2.95.
Yeah.
Which is basically that same thing.
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 good.
Mhm.
So again, good beer, solid concept. There, it's well executed. There are some overtures of the flavors that are throwing me off. That's not putting it into the great category, and that is the kind of that syrupy aftertaste,
Maltiness almost.
Yeah, and it's really in
Yeah.
that aftertaste that
I'm with you.
it's not like you don't get a lot of it when it's cold. Like it's definitely there.
Yeah.
We commented on it.
Yeah.
But when it's cold, it's much more manageable.
Yeah.
As we kept going, I was like,
It's a little unpleasant.
it's just not sitting well. Which means like if I wasn't drinking it fast, I probably wouldn't have another one. I'd probably want to switch to something a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Decent,
But it's good.
decent party beer though, if you think about it, right? Like it's a heavy hitter at 8%. Pretty good. Like I don't want to say it is balanced, but it has like a good balance. Like it has its hoppiness, it has its sweetness. Typically at parties, like you're already kind of like getting a little fucky. So, at that point, it's like you don't even really give a shit if you're drinking a warm beer,
Yeah, it just, rating, it's good. It's just not,
It's not great.
it's not the most amazing beer I've ever had, but
Absolutely.
it's like a definitely like go out and try kind of beer.
Very mid-level B.
Yeah.
Right down the middle. So, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's even on the top end of that, good category. It's just not
Yeah.
something I'd classify as great yet.
Yep.
All right. Well, do all the fucking YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Who cares?
Yep. We'll be back with hopefully the actual clone of Crikey IPA. We'll see. Maybe I'm just a fucking liar.
The actual clone?
Like 12th of Never?
Oh, are we doing that next?
Sure. Why not?
Well, because we already
Well, we had the Rubens, but like,
we already have another.
I just meant like soon.
Maybe we'll do the 12th and Never.
Just like
Can we do the big boy cans of 12th and Never, though?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I like those.
What did I say?
Those are
It was
fun.
5.5%, so it's like it's a Miller.
Well, and then they're just fun.
It is fun. I like those big boys.
All right.
Later.